What's up, you crazy people? Kevin here from the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today YouTube channel. And today we're going to be reviewing the 9th studio album from probably the most popular gothic metal band from Italy. This is Lacuna Coil and their album Black Anima. Okay, so here's how this video is going to go for those of you who do not know. First, I'm going to go through a little bit of a background on Lacuna Coil so we all know how we got up to this point. Then I'll go through Black Anima's songs 1 through 11, not 1 through 14. We are not going to include the 3 bonus tracks, so just 1 through 11 on the full-length release, and I'll be talking all about their style, meaning, instrumentation, vocals, lyrics, how everything fits together. I'm going to give you my take on that. Then I will rate the album on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being, some random pop artist singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl, 10 being David Draiman singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. Link in the description below to go vote for David Draiman as the national anthem singer. And of course, I will tell you why I gave it that rating. Now, it feels like I'm rambling, so am I rambling?
Yes, get on with it!
Alright, I'll get on with it. Alrighty, so let's go with a little bit of a background on Lacuna Coil up to this point. So their 8th studio album, Delirium, was released on May 27, 2016, and it peaked at number 11 on the Italian charts and number 33 in the US, and it sold about 13,000 copies on week 1, so that's not too bad. Now, Marco Biazzi was their longtime guitarist, and they announced a split with him from the band on January 14th, 2016. Apparently, it was amicable, so hopefully that's the best way to go about it, because he was with the band since 1999, and they replaced him with Diego Cavallati. Hopefully I said that right. Cavallati, they announced that on April 11th, 2016. So leading into Black Anima, they teased this in 2019, announced an impending release for October 11th on July 8th, 2019. Layers of Time was the first single released on July 26th. Now, the music on this album is said to be heavier and darker overall and contain a good amount of experimentation in the band, which of course is going to get you excited. Now, Black Anima literally means black soul. Anima means soul in Italian, so you can kind of see where the style of this album and where the meaning is really going to all come from. I was not planning on doing a review on this album, but when I heard the Layers of Time single as suggested by our Instagram friend @TheRealSatan, I was like, yeah, I gotta do an album review on this one. That's kind of where I'm going with this, and well,
Get on with it!
Yeah, I'll get on with it. Let's go to song 1. Alright, first track on Black Anima is the song Munira, and this literally means black soul in Italian, straight up. So now you kind of see really where the connection's coming in with that. The song is definitely built to be the intro song into Black Anima, with the meaning of asking what has become of my black soul, kind of diving into that deeper territory later on throughout the album, and kind of really going to that dark and deeper sound and content that Lacuna Coil teased earlier. The vocals from Christina on this one are very odd in my point, because it has this distortion that makes her kind of sound like a little creepy kid. I'm not sure if this was to create mystery for the song or mystery for the album. It definitely was a calculated move. I just don't know what it was for. The instrumentation of this one, it really focused on that gothic metal, but it also mixed some instrumentation with that electronic sound and piano in there, which really gives off this really wacky and mysterious vibe to it and puts it in more of a creepy realm. So overall, this is definitely built as a great intro song in my opinion, and I like what it sets up for the rest of Black Anima. Song number 2 is Sword of Anger. This song is all about the anger and hatred that one can feel and how it narrows your vision into basically becoming this one thing. You get tunnel vision when you get angry. Ooh, look, tunnel vision. Now, the intro on this song was something I really liked because it hit hard with some absolute heavy metal style and then quickly transitioned into gothic metal. But that transition was done really well because it doesn't fully impact the song overall in a negative way, as it flows real nicely and keeps that harder pace and harder sound to it, which I really do like. The verses feature the unclean vocals here from Andrea, whereas the chorus is more clean and unclean. It mixes the two together. But the mixture on this one is done very well because the vocals from Christina are powerful in this one. But the unclean vocals from Andrea are not overpowering the clean vocals, as they're separated nicely but blended in very well in the chorus. Now, the bridge on this song is really where it shows Christina's range overall, with a more heavy metal backing sound, which I really do like. Overall, coming out of the gate strong with number 2. This, after I listened to the album, this definitely was my favorite song, Sword of Anger, so yeah. At number 3, we have the second single released on September 13th. This is the song Reckless. Now, I think the meaning behind this song overall is how a person can have a negative impact on you. And basically to the point that you're going to destruct, whether it's on the outside or self-destruct on the inside. The intro brings in this weird sound. It's like, you know, like when you play Bop It, you'd hear Bop It, Twist It. It kind of sounded like that Bop It, like the twisted sound on Bop It, which really got me out of it. And then it came into more of a drawn-out metal style where it has a slower and lighter tone. And I'm really interested in the decision on this one overall because I'm not the biggest fan of it in comparison to what I saw on Sword of Anger, but I do like the fact that, you know, you're trying something, you're experimenting a little bit more. Christina is the prominent vocal on this one, and it shows a more limited range from her, which kind of gives her a lower tone. She kind of really stays there, and I'm not a fan of it, especially the vocals from Andrea on this one, because they mix really poorly in this one, especially in the pre-chorus. I really don't like it overall. The instrumentation on this track, though, is where this track shines. I thought it was fantastic, has this higher distortion to it, and it really brings a great mixture, especially with the guitar. So overall, instrumentation, good. Vocals, not a fan of it on Reckless. That's where I'm going to stand with it, so yeah. Okay, here we go. Song number 4, first single released from the album. This is Layers of Time. And this song means all about how we cannot change our past and we cannot go back in time to change it. But what we can do is use our past to help us through life right now and make sure that our past also, you know, basically has made us who we are to this point. Now, this, again, I mentioned it earlier, was the song that got me to want to do the album review on Black Anima. So let's take a look at it overall. So the instrumentation on this one, it has a faster metal sound to it, but not as fast as that classic metalcore sound, which I've really come to enjoy, but it still goes hard. It's kind of a mix between gothic metal and metalcore, which I thought was really dang good. Now, the unclean vocals and the verse from Andrea on this one, and the chorus has like the clean and unclean again from Christina, and they complement each other well as the contrast and style on this track. The verses have more of that metalcore feel, but the chorus is more of a gothic metal feel, so the contrast between the two is done really well. Overall, for a lead single, this was fantastic. It's still held up on the rest of the album, and I mean, need I say more? Number 5, we have the song Apocalypse. And this song is all about the end of some kind of current establishment, whether it might be, you know, political establishment or an establishment that you have in your mental state, societal, whatever. That's kind of what it's talking about, the end of that establishment. When I listened to the song in the intro, it reminded me a lot of Stronger Than You Know by New Year's Day, which came out earlier this year. And it has a similar flow to it throughout where I wasn't a fan of that song then, and hearing it on this one, I'm not really a big fan of it in Apocalypse. It does have more of a monotonous sound in the verse where the vocals are really dialed back from Christina, and that really negatively affects the sound as the slower tempo really doesn't do well with the more monotonous kind of monotone sound. I was hoping for like a higher pitch sound to really amp it up a little bit, but that didn't come through. The chorus has that mix between unclean and unclean vocals again, as I was been expecting, because it's kind of been a prominent theme throughout the whole entire album. However, there's a lack of variation really in the vocal style from Christina, so that monotony really sits in. Overall, you know, the song is rather monotonous, and I'm not really a big fan of it. I've said monotonous a lot, haven't I? Song number 6, we have the song Now or Never. This song is all about living life on your own terms, not letting anyone else dictate it, saying it's now you live your life or you're never going to do it at all. The song does have a much more metalcore kind of construction to it instrumentally and throughout the unclean vocals through the verse. So it's very metalcore driven, which I did like the move because I was hoping for something a little bit harder, a little bit faster as we've been going down, kind of like Sword of Anger. And this is where it's really hitting. I'm a fan of it. Now the chorus, especially on this one, this is a issue for me. I should say an issue, my bad. Because they tried to use Christina's vocals to be powerful and drawn out to kind of make it more dramatic and epic. However, I thought it might be better if they focused on, you know, keeping it more upbeat and keeping it that pulse going, kind of keeping your pedal to the metal, because I thought that'd have been a much better way to go about it. But then again, they didn't go with that, and I'm a little disappointed in the end. So overall, I love the instrumentation on this one, but the vocals really drew me out of it. So coming at number 7, we have the song Under the Surface. This talks about something I really like, to where on the surface, especially on social media, people are pointing out the highlights to basically kind of make you think they're living this great life and try and make you jealous. But under the surface, most of the time, they are miserable and not well off as they seem. So they're just kind of putting up a front. So you're really looking at them under the surface. Now the pace on this one, with both the sets of clean and unclean vocals as they're put in there, the mixture between the two, I thought it was really well done because they complement each other well, where they don't overpower each other and they keep the song really really fresh between the clean and unclean vocals. So I really like that idea. Also, the pace on the instrumentation, it gave us this faster paced song overall than we'd seen previously. And I was kind of hoping, you know, that would be a consistent thing, but it's not really fully there. Now, I have to knock on the guitar solo on this one because it did not go as long as it should have, because it was at a great beginning, but it was like 5 seconds. No, you need to have like a 10-15 second guitar solo. You got to drag that thing out. So overall, I like how the song drives, and it's definitely one you shouldn't sleep on. So if you haven't listened to it, go do it. Okay, song number 8, we have the song Veneficium. I hope I said that right. This literally means poisonous in Latin, and the song is all about how negative influences in our lives can basically slowly kill us like poison. So I thought, ooh, kind of like the move there. The intro really gives you this vibe that this is something they experimented with the sound that Epica has, and it really mimicked it in my mind. And the vocals in this part, you know, at the beginning are in Italian, and they might have more of that impact operatic feel to it. Impact operatic, and it really fits that Epica style for Lacuna Coil here. So I'm like, they definitely mix with that. And again, I'm gonna keep saying the comparison is really consistent. So this sounds like a track, again, that they basically took Epica sound and experimented with it for their own. Overall, I do like the experimentation and the move to go to symphonic metal, but it just lacks that little bit of an oomph that symphonic metal can really bring. And so I wasn't the biggest fan of it. However, the guitar solo on this one, ooh, now that was brilliant. All right, coming in number 9, we have the song The End Is All I Can See, and this song is all about suicide and the last cry for help before ending it all. And the song does return back to that gothic metal root that Lacuna Coil is known for, and it really has this feeling that brings you down with it. So it has this emotion just to the instrumentation to bring you down and kind of make you feel a little bit depressed, which does necessarily fit, I should say not doesn't, does really fit for the theme of the song. The vocals is where I'm really kind of having a problem with this one, because they leave a lot to be desired, as they keep a monotony with them and force you in kind of this contentness with the song, which doesn't necessarily fit the theme. And the chorus is weird on this one because there's a mix between the male unclean vocals and the female clean vocals. However, that mix is still bringing that contentness, which I really was kind of surprised at. The bridge does up the clean vocals in pitch primarily and creates this desperation feel, which actually works well here. So overall, I like what the instrumentation do with the gothic metal move, and the bridge with that higher pitch vocals really keep that desperation, but the monotony and the contentness that the vocals bring in the verse and the chorus, not for me, guys, not for me. Coming number 10, we have the third single on the album, which came out on October 4th, and this is Save Me. This song is all about asking for help when you're going through rough patches in a mental state. So when things aren't going well in your head, you don't want to ask for help. This is all about asking for help. The song is experimenting with a little bit of a different sound. They don't go really gothic metal. They go hard rock on this one, which I like the move to go with that, as the band's showing it's got some diversity to it. So like the experimentation, like the diversity. The vocals, though, yeah, I've kind of got an issue with them. I like the verse. However, the chorus, when I first heard it, felt like something that, like, they kind of like sped up. Interestingly, kind of like Come For Me by New Year's Day, you know, come for me. It kind of had that same exact kind of feel to it, and it just didn't necessarily hit my ears right. Necessarily, you know, Come For Me by New Year's Day, that actually did hit my ears pretty well, but this one just fell flat. The bridge is more of a spoken word thing from Christina, which, given the content of the song and the context, I think it was a really powerful thing and a great move by the band to include that in there. So overall, I'm not a fan of the overall mix, but that bridge with the impact that it brought, I was a big fan of that. All right, let's end this with song number 11. This is the titular track, Black Anima. And I'm not really sure this song has an anarchic meaning, like, you know, anarchy, kind of going after that with yourself personally or the world overall. Who really knows? The song begins again with that more electronic piano sound, like we start off in the album. So I like how that came full circle from the beginning to end. The song does have, again, that anarchy feel to it, especially with the mixing of the instrumentation, the higher pitched vocals from Christina. If you want to know what I'm really kind of going after this, listen to this song during the last scene in Fight Club when all the buildings are coming down. Yeah, this feels like it would really fit well in there. So overall, I like this song, how it ends the album overall, but it does not stand alone very well. This song is perfectly placed if you listen to the album straight through as it's ending, and I like it there, but as a standalone song, it doesn't really hold any water. All right, so my overall rating on Black Anima by Lacuna Coil, what is it? I'm going to give Black Anima a 4.5 out of 10. Alrighty, so what I like about Black Anima that gives it a 4.5 out of 10, the aspects I like about it are a couple. Sword of Anger is the best song in this album because it hits so well and it's so well constructed between the gothic metal and heavy metal instrumentation, between the clean and unclean vocals as they don't overlap each other, and how the overall song really flows together very well with instrumentation and vocals. Now, the vocal range from Christina in this whole entire album, it shows off very well, but because she hits so many different aspects throughout the whole entire album that you can really tell she is such a talented vocalist. However, you have to listen to the whole album to really get this as song by song basis. She kind of sticks with one sound per song, so it's a little bit tough on that, and I'll get to that a little bit later. The guitar solo on Beneficium is really well done. It is the only one that is more than just like a few seconds long, and this one is completely warranted. It is very well done. And the anarchy feeling at the end of the album, I really, really like that kind of move, and kind of bringing it to an end like that with the black soul and kind of ending it like a song that could definitely be at the end of Fight Club. I really enjoyed that. Alrighty, so I gave it a 4.5 out of 10. That's not that big. So what did I not like about this album? And I talked about it earlier why I like Christina's vocals on this one, because she showed vocal range throughout the whole entire album. But on an individual song-by-song basis, I really wasn't a big fan because I know what she can do. I know the power of her vocals. And a lot of times her vocals really sounded monotonous throughout the album on song-by-song. However, you listen to it as a whole, you're going to get the whole entire experience. So that real song-by-song kind of monotony really kind of messed me up a little bit. And this album really had a lack of bite to it. For something that's going to go darker and heavier and grittier that they were talking about, it really didn't feel like it had that kind of bite to it, where there wasn't many songs. I mean, Sword of Anger hit me powerful along with Layers of Time, but the rest of it, they just lack this kind of bite that really stick with you. So that's one problem I have with the album as well, is it just doesn't hit as hard as it advertises. And Now or Never, I have to use this as an example, the instrumentation going very well, but the vocals not mixing well with it at all and really bringing the song down overall. Again, I love the instrumentation on that song, but the vocals really bring it down. Instrumentation, for the most part, was well done, but there were a lot of times where those vocals did not match up. So overall, now this is an album that I'm not going to really care for much. I'm not going to really revisit it, but then again, you have to remember, I'm not the biggest fan of gothic metal at all. I'm not a big fan of the style. That's really not my kind of thing. I do not think this was the worst album of the year by far. It's not going to be in that category, but it's not going to be in the top 10 for, you know, my consideration for album of the year. It's just not going to be there. It's not going to be one I revisit, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. It does have two songs that I like on it, though, a lot, like Sword of Anger and Layers of Time, but if you like gothic metal, I want to hear what you have to say, but for me, this album was a little bit of a dud. Alright guys, well that's it for me. Thank you for watching the Black Anima by Lacuna Coil album review here on the YouTube channel for My Song Day Rock 2000 today. If you like this video, give me the like. If you dislike it, give me the dislike. But put your review in the comments so I can take a look at them. Also, if you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button. Get that out of here. Hit the one in the corner and the bell icon because you'll be notified every time we release a video every single Wednesday night and sometimes Mondays. We got 2 albums to review. So let's get those out of here. Follow us on social media to stay up to date with everything and be a part of this great community. So follow us on Facebook just to stay up to date with everything we release. Follow us on Twitter so that we can talk to you guys. Follow us on Instagram so we can talk guys as well. We can ask you questions. You can follow our IGTV video series so you can get some behind the scenes look at what's going on with us. You can join us for our Instagram live streams every single Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central, where you can talk to us for an hour. And that's the best way you can get all your My Song Day content, primarily on Instagram. Also, follow us on TikTok as well, because TikTok, we're doing some fun stuff there. So follow us there. Let's get that out of here. We're going to talk about the Chord Progression Podcast, brought to you by My Song Day Rock 2008. It is our very own podcast where we do a much deeper dive into this certain stuff. We do a deep dive into the concerts we go to, things that are going on in music, and we get to interview people like you. We've interviewed some fans before, and we've interviewed small bands like Ascending from Ashes, Kingdom Collapse, GFM, Gold Frankincense, and Myrrh. We've interviewed some of these bands, and you can get on the ground floor on these smaller bands before they make it big. I know GFM is working on a tour for 2020. Kingdom Collapse is on the radio right now on Sirius XM, and they should be coming out of Texas and opening for somebody soon. And Ascending from Ashes, they're doing a live stream every single Wednesday night, so you can get on their music as well. So you're going to want to listen to it, and it's going to keep you up to date. We do some fun stuff too. Plus, you could be on it too. So you can listen to that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and YouTube, right here on YouTube. So enough with that. And last but not least, we do have our Amazon Alexa skill that you can listen to every single song of the day. So it says, hey Alexa, play my song of the day, and she'll do it. You got to say a different song every 24 hours. And what's end up happening is especially with the Saturday ones. Now that's my favorite because that's small band Saturday. And you can get in again on the ground floor on a lot of these smaller bands that haven't made it big yet. And we've been featuring 30-second previews of their songs so you can get a taste of them before you maybe are going to listen on the Alexa skill or find them on your own. And pretty soon, we're going to be doing that for every single song of the day selection. So that's going to be awesome. So you're going to want to be following us on everything. Again, links in the description below. And I want to thank you guys for, again, watching this video, being a part of this community. It means a lot to me, more than you know. So I'm going to end it with that. This is Kevin from the My Song a Day Rock 2000 Day YouTube channel. This is going to be harder with the beanie, but I mean, it landed, but didn't fit perfectly. But see ya!